Mike Bloomberg is on a bombastic mission to capitalize on the unsettled Democratic U.S. presidential race. Bloomberg is gaining traction, especially after Joe Biden disappointed in the first two contests of New Hampshire and Iowa. But Bloomberg's strategy is different. He has chosen to skip all of the early state caucuses. Instead, he is banking on the 14 Super Tuesday states, who will collectively vote on the 3rd of March for a Democratic nominee. Bloomberg's main target is the obvious one, another Wall Street hawk who rose to the highest seat of power in the United States, Donald J. Trump. His rivals have spent nearly all of their time and resources battling each other in the early voting states like Iowa and New Hampshire. Now, Bloomberg, on the other hand, has spent hundreds of millions of dollars building up his image with advertising, so-called meme teams on social media, and campaign rallies in states where he has had the field largely to himself. Unlike Trump, who led and expanded the Trump empire in New York, Bloomberg portrays himself to be a self-made billionaire. Critics, however, are saying that the tycoon has spent his career using his fortune to undermine democracy and enact his preferred political agenda, and his presidential gambit is just the latest example. Now, Bloomberg is famous for being something of a political chameleon. He was a Democrat for most of his life and became a Republican to run for mayor of New York in 2001. Later became an independent in 2007 and then became a Democrat again in 2018. But throughout all of these changes, one thing has remained consistent: his devotion to the interests of the wealthy. Now, this is exactly what he continues to do even today. He is a vocal defender of the interests of the rich and is banking on their votes to win big in the polls. But his past remarks, perhaps peppered by then Republican-minded interests, have proven to be troublesome for Bloomberg, when decades of impolitic and insensitive comments have forced Bloomberg to come face-to-face with renewed scrutiny at the national level. Now, the heightened scrutiny comes in the wake of a recently resurfaced recording of a 2015 speech in which Bloomberg defended New York's stop-and-frisk policy targeting minorities. This is just one of the many speeches by the multi-billionaire now being scrutinized closely. So far, Mike Bloomberg has spent more than $400 million of his personal fortune on his ad campaign. Michael Bloomberg, accounting for the money that he has spent alone, is a perfect example of a rich oligarch taking advantage of a broken and dysfunctional political system. For his entire political career, Michael Bloomberg has backed policies and politicians that bat for the 1%.